All right. The Green Bay Packers, your biggest riser, 6 spots up from 19 to 13. Jordan Love has looked awesome the last 3 weeks.
And I wrote about this at the top. When I went there in the summer, you know how I felt about that team. And I wasn't sure about him coming out. But after watching him and talking to him and talking to his teammates about him, during that practice, Jordan Love turned his back on a play-action fake and threw a shot in the middle of the field that he never saw the linebacker that was picked off. And Jaire Alexander screamed some of the nastiest stuff ever at him. Like basically tell him, get your head out of here where the sun doesn't shine, in not so nice terms. And I asked Alexander about it afterwards. And he said, look, we love him. We just got to stay on him because we know how good he can be. And then I asked Christian Watson about him. And then I asked Jordan Love about himself. And I left there thinking, this kid has it. He has it. And so when he started slowly, I'm like, well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe he doesn't have it. Maybe I just got caught up in the moment. But you know what? What he didn't have early in the season was the whole offensive group together. And he still does it because he doesn't have Aaron Jones. But they had problems on the offensive line. They had receivers going in and out. They were all young receivers. You couldn't get any continuity with them. Well, now everybody's growing together. Those young guys are all coming around together to understand him. And he's playing with so much more confidence now. You can see it. And that team is dangerous. And they will be a playoff team, by the way. They will be a playoff team.
I think so, too.
Schedule is a joke.
When you look at – what's that?
Their schedule's a joke.
Yeah.
I think the combined records is 20-40 of the teams they play that's left.
It's crazy, though. They were sitting at like a they had a top 5 pick 3 weeks ago. And now they're the 6th seed in the NFC, 71% chance to make the playoffs. If they're at the Giants, if they win that and then they're at the Giants, the Buccaneers at home, at the Panthers, at the Vikings, and the Bears at home. That is as easy as it gets.
It's amazing. I mean, if they don't make the playoffs, it will be surprising. Let's put it that way. And they still haven't had anybody on defense. Alexander's not back.
I mean, they could lose the last 2 games of the season and still have a decent chance to make the playoffs. Like it's crazy. Like they go 3-2 and probably make the playoffs.
And by the way, they're really good in December under Matt LaFleur, undefeated, right?
They're undefeated, yeah. If they go 4-1, it's a stone cold lock that they make the playoffs. 93% chance as a wild card. Only 7% chance that they would actually.
So it's the Giant. They have the Giants, Carolina. Who else do they have? They have Minnesota, right? Minnesota, Giants, Carolina. Read the schedule to me.
They are at Giants, Buccaneers at home, at Panthers, at Vikings, Bears.
They should win 4 of those games. They should.
Yeah.
I mean,
unless Jordan Love just falls apart.
You're playing the Panthers, who stink. They're terrible. You're playing a backup quarterback, maybe the third-team quarterback with the Vikings, and you have a Bears team that's playing for nothing last week of the season. And then you got Tommy DeVito, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's as easy as it gets.
Yeah.
Is Jordan Love the franchise quarterback for the Packers?
Looking like it.
Yeah. I mean, would you
looking like it.
Like, don't you think at this point that it looks like they made the right move?
Youngest team in the league, too.
Yeah, those wide receivers. Watson,
he's got
hamstring injury is concerning. Like, Love's play has coincided with Watson kind of putting it together and playing well.
True. That's concerning. But they also haven't had the Musgrave, the tight end.
Yep.
But the other Kraft is starting to play well, the other rookie. And then you look at those other wide receivers. Wicks is playing well. I mean, Dobbs is good.
And who's the rookie from Ole Miss?
Malik Heath.
Yeah, Malik Heath.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where you kind of want to be, I think. It's like, by the way, it was like, is everybody going to get 5? The NFL is so insane. It goes from like, is everybody going to get canned? Is Jordan Love like going to be let go? Are the Packers going to have to draft a quarterback with their top 5 pick? 3 weeks later, it's like, well, they've got the youngest wide receiver core in the league. They've got this possible franchise quarterback, and they might be like in a wild card spot as a really dangerous team. Like, I wouldn't want to play Green Bay in a wild card game.
No. And it's just every week it's the same though. Miami can't score on the road. They can't beat any good teams, and then they go explode against Commanders, who aren't a good team. But Dallas's defense looked like crap against Seattle. The Eagles can't stop anybody all of a sudden. I mean, it just changes the narrative. Change. Josh Allen can't play early in the season. Remember, now he's an MVP candidate, carrying a team, and maybe he can take them to the playoffs. There's so many things. Brock Purdy can't come up in big games. So many narratives get flipped and switched from week to week in the NFL. It's just the way it is.
Aaron Rodgers pointed that out earlier this year too. He's like, somebody. He was asked. I remember he was asked on the McAfee show, like, "What do you think about Jordan Love? He's not playing well." He's like, he's like, week to week, the Vikings were dead in the water 3 weeks ago, and now, I mean, it's crazy. It flips so freaking fast.